Hey there everyone, it's Jenna. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be styling some brand new fall decor. And if you're unfamiliar with my channel, basically I go out to the stores and I find these products that look very expensive and high-end, but they're budget friendly. So you're able to get that designer high-end look in your space for a lot less. And then I also give you styling tips and examples of how I use those products in my own space. So hopefully you're able to get some fun fall decorating inspiration. And these products are what I consider my fall staples. So they really make an impact when I'm styling for fall, and they're just like my favorites in general. So most of these products are brand new, but there are a couple from last year that I brought with us in our move, and I'll show you how I style them in our new space as well. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so the first piece that I found was honestly one of my favorite finds of the entire haul. When I saw the price on these, my jaw went to the floor because I was like, that is such a good deal. Like, I double checked it because I was like, they can't be that cheap. But they were, and they are these beautiful warm brown magnolia stems. Now, these look super duper similar to the ones that they sell on Floral for $42 per stem, and these guys were only $5 each. And one of my favorite things about these stems was the coloring on them. I'm super picky about coloring on faux stems because I feel like that can make or break how realistic it looks, and these just look so natural, so earthy, so lifelike, and the texture of the leaves is almost like velvety, so it gives it a super realistic look. Right here I'm holding 3 in my hand. I did buy 5 total just because the price was so good, but you could totally get away with 3. Like, this is a very full amount, I feel like, and this would look beautiful styled on somewhere like a console table or a coffee table or a dining table. And I am actually going to use this on our dining table. And a lot of times when I am styling larger stems like this that have a lot of twig on them, I'll try to like bend the branch part a little bit just to give it more of a lifelike look. I think these make such a beautiful statement, and it's the first thing you see when you walk into our home. So I want to put these front and center because, like I said, they're one of my favorites, and the brown tones on here just look so lifelike, like they're a true magnolia stem that you wouldn't just chop down from a tree, and they're actually going through that fall transition. And I love the brown kind of like earthy warm terracotta tones that are on these leaves and all of the beautiful color that they have. That's my favorite thing about them. And I love that these have that fall feel to them, but they'd honestly be great to use year round if you like that kind of like moody aesthetic. So definitely an amazing find and such a good price on these. Also, I will link everything that I can, including these stems, down below in the description box. So if you need to reference the products, they are down below in the description box. But yeah. Okay, so next, we all know that something that heavily contributes to the fall season being what it is scent. And actually, I know a lot of people who have signed leases where their lease says that they actually cannot light candles just because it is such a fire hazard and the landlords don't want to deal with it. And we are one of those people. So this next piece makes it so that you can actually use a candle without lighting it, and it is this stunning candle warmer. Now, this guy I found on Amazon. I actually saw a bunch of these at TJ Maxx and Home Goods, which was what gave me the idea, but I didn't see any that I loved. And so I just went on Amazon and did a quick search, and I found this one. Honestly, this is such a stunning piece by itself. Like, even if it were just a lamp, I feel like this is something that you would find in an antique shop. Like, it would fit right in because it has this beautiful kind of like vintage glass shade. And then I love the curved detail of the neck and the tone of the gold and the beautiful rich chocolate color of the base. I feel like everything complements each other so well, and it's just such a stunning piece just aesthetically, and then not to mention it's such a practical thing as well. So basically what this does is you just pop a candle right under here, and this is like a little heat light, so it melts the wax so that you can smell the candle, but you don't have to have an open flame. So if you're worried about your kids or your pets or just forgetting to blow out the candle, this is such a great alternative, especially because this has a dimmer and a timer on it. So you can set it for like 2 hours if you're just going to be home for 2 hours or you're doing some work or before bed or whatever. This would be perfect popped on a side table in a living room or maybe on a desk or a nightstand, but we're actually going to use this on our shelves in our living room because we don't don't have a lot of space for side tables in this house, so I'm just gonna pop it on there and it will act as shelf decor. It's right by an outlet, so that way I can pop my candle on there and it can disperse that lovely fall scent throughout the room and look pretty at the same time. So definitely a great deal on this one. This was only $24, which is such a steal. They also had a bunch of different designs, but I was just really drawn to this one. I felt like it matched my decor and it just was a fun pop of vintage, or at least like a vintage style piece. Obviously it's not vintage, but it totally looks like it is. Okay, so it wouldn't be the fall season without finding some fun garland, and I got this really pretty kind of like neutral seated looking garland. These guys were only $5.99 per strand. They're 6 feet long, and honestly they're really beautiful kind of by themselves. They add a nice texture, and I love the neutral color of them and how they have a little bit of like that rusty undertone to them, but overall they still look very lifelike and natural. So this is what one looks like, but if you layer them together, you start to get this really beautiful like textural feel. So here, I'll show you. I bought a bunch of them. So you can see when these are all bunched together, they give off a really beautiful texture and they look like true dried florals, even though they're plastic. So that's what I loved about them, is how realistic they looked and just that like rustic fall texture that they would add. So I thought this would be pretty if a bunch of these lined the center of a table, and then you could put some tall taper candles throughout, and that would just be a really effortless yet elegant look to a table. Maybe if you host Thanksgiving. Also, it would be really pretty to maybe put around a light fixture if you have a certain type of chandelier that allows that, you know, safely. Obviously this could be pretty to kind of weave throughout a chandelier and give your light fixture just like a really soft, whimsical look. That could be really pretty too. So like I said, these are super versatile. I just figured they were kind of like a fun, cheap piece that looked a lot more expensive than they were. Okay, so lately I've seen a lot of TikTokers and people on Instagram using little jack-o'-lanterns and then drilling holes in the bottom and putting a diffuser inside. So when I saw this next piece, I figured it would be perfect, and it is this little black jack-o'-lantern, and this guy was only $12.99, and honestly they sell things like this everywhere. I've seen them all over the place, but what drew me to this one specifically is this actually has a little battery operated light in the center that you can remove, so you don't have to drill a hole for the cord or anything. You just need a little screwdriver and the whole candle part just comes right out, so you have a hole in the bottom, so that way you can easily put a little diffuser in here, and then it gives off that really cozy, creepy Halloween feel. And it's so fun because the diffuser just makes some smoke out of the top of the jack-o'-lantern, and it looks really festive, and you can have lights on it if you have lights on your diffuser. I just picked up a cheap one over at TJ Maxx. It was like $9. So this is so cute for when people trick or treat and have this in the background, or if you have a Halloween party, this could be a really pretty thing to have out on the countertop or on a console table, just to give a fun, spooky, festive vibe. So for $13, I figured this was a great price, and I think I might eventually spray paint the inside black just to give it more of a neutral look. So yeah, definitely a cute little piece that's something fun and different. Okay, so when it comes to seasonal decorating, I am a big fan of pops of burgundy. I feel like it's just such a beautiful and timeless color. I've used pops of burgundy for Christmas styling over the holidays. I've used it during fall and even spring, so it's super versatile. So when I saw these stems, I knew I had to get them, and they are these really beautiful, just kind of like wildflower looking burgundy floral stems. And these guys were $8, but they were on sale for 50% off, so they were $4 per stem. And I just loved the coloring on them. I loved that they still had that little pop of color in them, but again, it was still more muted and gave off a super realistic look. So I actually bought these to mix in with some of my faux wisteria stems that are on our dining table currently, and it's just gonna be a really beautiful transitional fall look. So it's great for transitioning from summer to fall. Honestly, it could look pretty just like during the summertime or even the springtime, but I love pops of burgundy during the fall. And burgundy is actually a theme that I'm gonna kind of try to incorporate throughout my fall decorate with me. So I figured these would kind of tie everything together and just look really beautiful out on our dining table. One of my favorite designers that typically adds a lot of pops of burgundy throughout her spaces is Amber Lewis of Amber Interiors. She always has like some beautiful burgundy stems in her spaces that just give it a really cozy, festive look without being too over the top and still having that kind of natural, earthy look throughout her space. So I figured that these did that and they looked very lifelike. So definitely a great find for only $4 a stem. Okay, so when I came across this next piece, I could not pass it up. And it is this super cute little fall floral arrangement. And this I actually got from At Home, and it was only $17.99 for the stems and the vase. And what really drew me to this again was the tone and the coloring on the stems. It's that beautiful kind of like muted, moody, earthy fall coloring that's not over the top. It's not distracting or too bright or fakey looking. It just looks really lifelike and natural. And I also loved the size of this. This is perfect for popping on a kitchen countertop to add that autumn touch to your kitchen styling. It's also great for shelf styling, or if you want to use it in a bathroom or popped on a mantle or a nightstand. There's so many places where this could go and fit in. So I like to invest in versatile pieces like this so you can move them all throughout your home or use them in a different way next season, so it kind of feels like new decor. I also loved the rustic look of this vase and the shape of it, and again how it was neutral so it could fit in lots of different spaces throughout my home. So yeah, definitely a great deal on this one. This reminds me of something that you would find at Pottery Barn or Anthropologie, and this guy was under $20. So definitely a really good deal and such a versatile piece that you can use all throughout the years. Okay, so something that I love to do when decorating for autumn is just incorporating some of those subtle fall details in simple yet elegant ways. So when I saw this next piece, I knew it would be perfect for that. And it is this cute little ceramic acorn canister. And this totally reminds me of something you'd see at Pottery Barn. I love the rustic look of this glaze and how it breaks over all of the texture on the top here. I actually had a hard time deciding because they had this cute little pumpkin one right next to it, and I didn't know which one to get, but ultimately I went with this one because I just felt like it had more of a simple feel and it was able to hold what I wanted better. Because I'm actually going to use this in our kitchen. I'm going to pop it right next to my little coffee maker and use it to hold my stevia packets, and that'll just kind of be something fun and new for our countertop to make it feel fresh and festive, but also still very subtle and elegant at the same time. So $15, great deal. I also thought that the little pumpkin one was cute too, so I'll link both below, but I figured they were a great deal if you want to use these in somewhere like a bathroom to hold like cotton swabs or Q-tips or whatever. Just a fun little piece to make everything feel a little bit more festive. Okay, so this next piece is the unusual splurge. Mostly everything in here is very budget friendly. These were a little bit pricey, but I do reuse them every year and they're one of my staples and my favorites, so I felt like they were worth the investment. And they are these gorgeous burgundy garlands. I actually got these on Floral and they're $38 per garland. So I figured that was actually kind of a decent deal considering like one stem will be $38. So you get this whole piece of garland. So I have two of these and I just love the coloring on this garland. I think that it's so beautiful. It gives off that timeless classic look with being that true burgundy. And I love the movement that it has when this is draped off of a mantle, especially when you pair it with something like vintage candlesticks. It just gives off a really effortless, classy feel, but it still screams festive. So that's kind of what I aim for when I do decorate for the seasons, is I want it to feel like it's special. I want it to feel seasonal and festive, but I also want it to kind of like feel natural and like it blends in, if that makes sense. Just a very like effortlessly styled space. And I feel like this set of garland is perfect for that. I also used this last year on our dining table. I lined it down the center and then I placed some candles throughout, and then I placed a little lantern in the center with some candles in it and some dried oranges, and that just gave off such a festive feel, but it was super simple and easy to do. So it's just a really versatile piece that helps to give off that festive feel in a really elegant way. All right, everyone, that about wraps up this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little fall decor haul and styling session. If you did, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really does help to support my channel and makes it so that I can keep doing fall decor hauls like this one. And also be sure that you're subscribed because I have a lot more fall content coming and you don't want to miss it. So be sure that you hit the notification bell when you do subscribe, because then you'll be alerted of all the fall content that comes your way. And I just want to thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you guys have a wonderful week and that it is starting to cool down wherever you are, because here it is still in the hundreds and I may or may not be sweating in the shirt, but fingers crossed for some cooler fall weather soon. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.